In February 2020, most of us were going about our daily lives, unaware of how much the world was about to change. But a few people had a head start. One of them was Senator Richard Burr. Because he sat on the Secret Committee for Intelligence and Health, he was getting private information about how dangerous the coronavirus is going to be. Publicly, he told everyone that the country was ready and that thing is not that bad. But privately, he did the opposite. On February 13th, just one day after telling the public everything was fine, he sold off almost all of his stocks, up to $1.7 million worth. He did this while the stock market was at an all-time high. Shortly after, the market crashed. And while regular people lost their retirement savings, the senator miraculously dodged the losses. Now I need to use a fancy term here. Material non-public information. All that means is insider information. Important fact about a company or the economy that the general public doesn't know yet. Usually, using this information to make money is a crime called insider trading. However, even though the FBI looked into it, they dropped all the charges against Burr, and he got off scot-free. Hi, my name is Ravi, and today we are looking at how the people we elect to lead us are becoming some of the most successful investors on the planet. We often hear about Warren Buffett, who is famous for getting a 19% return on his money every year. For context, if you just put your money in a standard group of stocks called an index fund, you would usually get around 10%. But there's a group in Washington, beating those numbers by massive margins. They're not math geniuses or tech experts. They're members of US Congress. Today, we are going to explore whether they are just generationally talented at picking stocks, or they are using their power to get rich while the rest of us play by different rules. The problem is that our representatives are beating the market in a way that looks incredibly suspicious. According to the sources, there are examples on both sides of the political aisle. For instance, Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz bought a stock in a company called Wildstat in November. It was the first time any member of the Congress had bought it. A month later, it was announced that Wildstat got a $4 million NASA contract, and the stock price went up. She just happened to sit on a committee that decide how the military and the government spend their money. Then there's Senator Markwayne Mullin, who bought a stock in Badger's Meter, a company that makes water meters. He sits on the committee that oversees EPA, Environmental Protection Agency. Right around that time, the EPA passed a new rule encouraging cities to buy those exact type of meters. His stock went up 40% before he sold it. We even see this with day trading, where people buy and sell stocks very quickly to make a profit. Marjorie Taylor Greene made 2,200 trades in just 55 days. In one case, she bought a stock in Restoration Hardware right after its price dropped because of the government taxes called tariffs. A week later, when those taxes were canceled, the stock jumped 30%, and she reportedly made $100,000 off of those type of trades. Why is this allowed to happen? It comes down to two things: access and weak laws. First, members of Congress are privy to information that the normal person just is not. They aren't just guessing. They are in a room where the decisions are made. Second, the law meant to stop this, the Stock Act, isn't working. The sources say this law is basically just a timestamp. It doesn't stop them from trading. It just makes them to tell the public what they did after they already did it. You might ask, why don't they go to jail for insider trading? The insider trading is really hard to prove. To convict someone, you have to prove they made the trade specifically because of that secret information they had. Unless there's a smoking gun like a text message or an email saying, buy this because of the secret meeting, they usually get away with it. This isn't just a rich person problem. It affects everyone, common person, in two major ways. It erodes public trust. When we see politicians getting rich off the same thing they're supposed to be regulating, it makes people feel like the system is wrong fundamentally. It makes it look like they aren't there to serve us, but to serve their own bank accounts. It changes how laws are made. If a member of Congress owns millions of dollars of worth in tech stocks like Google, Apple, Nvidia, they are going to vote for laws that might hurt those companies but help the public. The sources point out that Democrats, for example, owns a lot of tech stocks, which might be why it is hard to pass law regulating big tech. They're essentially voting on their own portfolios. Right now, the Washington is split into 3 camps on how to fix this.
The reason for all of this is that, quite frankly, members of this body are privy to information that the normal person just is not.
The first camp think the current law, the Stock Act, is fine. There is no problem.
Our job is to try to anticipate and legislate for what we see is coming. And we should not have the ability to both have access to that information and be able to hold and trade individual stocks.
The second camp wants a total ban on all stock trading for members of Congress and their families. The third camp is in somewhere in the middle, suggesting things like blind trust, where someone else manages the money so the politician doesn't know what they own. Despite 19 different bills being introduced to fix this, not a single one has been brought to a full vote. Some politician even argues that they need to trade because their $174,000 salary has been frozen for years.
Again, we have plenty of protections. We have the disclosure. This is a completely unnecessary piece of legislation. It's going to create all kinds of unintended consequences.
How many people in the audience, how many of you don't want to make money? Anybody want to be poor? I don't.
Even though that is more than double what the average American family makes. Until a real ban is passed, the current system will keep letting them trade out in the open. So we can beat them. Some people are now using apps just to copy whatever trades Congress makes. Thanks for watching. If you think Congress should be banned from trading stocks, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into how the system really works.